Good day, you guys. Today I'll be showing you how to make these delicious brown butter salty caramel sticky buns. They're so good. If you're interested, please keep on watching. So you're first going to start off with 1 cup of water and or milk and a 1/4 cup of melted butter. Then you're going to add in a 1/4 cup of sugar, and then you're going to add in your yeast, which is 2 teaspoons of instant dry yeast. Then you're going to give that a mix. It's not necessarily necessary, but I just did that, so you can do that as well. And then you're going to let your active yeast to activate, I guess. Although this step is not necessarily necessary for all types of yeast, some of them you can just add them directly to the flour. But I also like the smell of when the yeast does its thing. Next, we're going to add in 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I used white bread flour because that's what I had, but you can use all-purpose flour as well. That works well. And then as you can see, the dough looks a bit wet here, but I just want to tell you that it's not that wet, especially because we are going to be adding flour as we're kneading it. As you can see now, it will become a bit more firm. And honestly, when it comes to breads and pastries, the wetter the better, because that means that it will be softer and easier to work with. After letting it rise for 90 minutes in a warm space, continuously it rose, it doubled in size. Then you're gonna roll it out onto your counter surface and knead it. We're gonna be kneading this dough for about 7 to 10 minutes by hand, or 5 minutes will do as well. I just like to get in that gluten, to get it nice and stretchy. And then you're gonna roll it out into a rectangle. I do not have a rolling pin. I do plan to get one myself eventually. Each time I go to the shops to get one, I end up coming out with 3 roll-ons or 3 soaps or something, those 3 for 2 sales. Anyway, you're gonna roll it out, and then as you can see, I was using my balsamic vinegar bottle. You can use whatever is smooth and can help you with rolling, just ensure it's clean. And then you're gonna make your filling, which is some melted butter, sugar, and some cinnamon. I used 1/2 cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. You want it very cinnamony. And then you're going to put it into dollops and spread it. It's easier when you place it in dollops in different parts of the dough and then spread it from those dollops, because it ensures that every side has some covering, as opposed to just going from one place and filling it like that, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, then you're gonna roll it out lengthwise and ensure it's nice and tight as you do that. And then we're gonna cut it. Some use knives. I used to be some people, but I've changed, guys. I used floss now, and I must say it does really help to get the cuts nice and clean. And then you're gonna put that into your greased tin. For me, mine was a little bit too small. It is the smallest one that I had, but if I had the bigger one, all of them would have fit. But it's fine because I still had my other tin that I could use as well. You just want to ensure that they don't touch each other and there is some space, because they will proof for the second time and then again rise again in the oven as well. And you're just going to cover that with a cloth after positioning them nicely and let it rise for 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, it's going to look like this. Look how big they are. And then you're going to bake that in an oven for 35 to 40 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. After you take them out, it is advised by whoever the connoisseurs of baked goods are that you should leave your sticky buns in the tin or whatever container you bake them in to cool down for at least 15 minutes. So that's what I'm going to do, and with that time, it's enough time for us to make our caramel sauce. Now, since we're making brown butter sauce, we want to brown our butter. So we're going to melt our butter for about 5 minutes, stirring occasionally, and we melted 3 tablespoons of butter, and then we're going to add in 3 1/4 cups of sugar. After that butter has become nice and brown and smells nice and nutty, that really helps to add some more depth of flavor and to deepen that nuttiness. Then, since it's salty caramel as well, we're adding in 1/2 teaspoon of rock salt, as well as 1/2 teaspoon of caramel essence and 1/2 teaspoon of blackstrap molasses. Now this is imperative. I do think this is not optional. You should add the blackstrap molasses. It really helps to add that nice flavor that you would get, especially because it complements the sugar really well. Anyway, then we're going to be adding in a 1/4 cup of milk, and we're going to give that a whisk. I'm going to give it a whisk And don't worry about it looking a bit too watery now. It might look like it's not going to come together, but just wait for the end. Be patient, guys. It's going to reduce and some of the liquid is going to evaporate. And on top of that, we're also going to be making a slurry. And to make that, we added 2 tablespoons of flour or cornstarch as well as an 1/8 cup of milk. Then you're going to whisk that in, and that will help as well and work as a thickening agent to thicken our caramel sauce. Look at it now. As it cools down, it's also going to thicken more, you're going to see. And we're just going to pour that over our cinnamon buns, and we're going to put them back in the oven for about 5 minutes for the caramel to really sit in. Oh my gosh, this caramel was so good. The sauce was so good. I was really happy with this recipe that I made up, especially because it's the first time I'm trying it out and it worked out really well. I was a bit worried that since I'm not using cream, it was not going to turn out as nice, but guys, I kid you not, this is the best caramel sauce I've ever made and had, I think, actually, considering the fact that it is as healthy as it is. Well, I'm using healthy very loosely, just by the way. Anyway, for the rest of your caramel sauce, you can just add it in an airtight container or a mason jar like that and store it. It keeps well in the fridge for about a month. I use it to pour over my popcorn, and I just live my best life, guys. And you should be doing that too. So please do yourself a favor and make yourself this recipe. This is a treat, especially for those of you that are writing exams now, whatever, and also coming towards the holidays. This is a great dessert to make during those times. Nonetheless, thank you for watching, and bye bye.